Doc! 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 Okay, relax, Doc. It's me. It's Martin.
No, it can't be. Just sent you back to the future.
Oh, I know you did send me back to the future, but I'm back. I'm back from the future.
Great Scott.
What's happening, guys? Supernova here, back with another video. And I actually wanted to make this video a lot earlier today, but unfortunately I had doctor's appointments and all kinds of other shit that prohibited me from doing so. So I'm making it now. Better late than never, right? Anyway, so we got some big news today. And I'm sure all of you have heard, but if you haven't, I will tell you what happened and then I will tell you how I feel about it. Today, Sony Santa Monica finally verified some questions that some of us have had regarding God of War Ragnarok, or whatever God of War Ragnarok will eventually be named. In this tweet, they say, since the release of the next God of War teaser last year, we've been humbled by the amount of love the community has shown us. We're incredibly grateful to see so many people excited to experience the next chapter of Kratos and Atreus' journey. We remain focused on delivering a top quality game while maintaining the safety and well-being of our team, creative partners, and families. With this in mind, we've made the decision to shift our release window to 2022. Thanks for all the continued support. We've got some exciting things in the works, and we can't wait to show you. We would also learn today that both Gran Turismo 7 and God of War Ragnarok have both been confirmed to be cross-generation games, as in they will not be exclusive to the PlayStation 5, they will be available both on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. And that's pretty much the big news for today. God of War Ragnarok, not a 2021 release. It is now a 2022 game, and it is going to be cross-generational, so available both on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. So how do I feel about it? Well, honestly, when Horizon Forbidden West is here without a release date, I think most of us kind of assumed that God of War was getting pushed to 2022. And hey, like I always say, listen, take all the time you need. I don't care if you delay the game 5 months. I don't care if you delay the game 5 years. All I care about is when the game finally comes out, is it finished? Is it polished? Is it beautiful? Right? That's all I give a shit about. And like I always tell people, I would rather deal with the temporary disappointment of having to delay a game than deal with the permanent disappointment of a game that came out fucked up. Right? So listen, if you need time, take the time. Now, when it comes to being cross-gen, I will say I am disappointed, but I understand why they did it, and I kind of knew this was going to happen. I think, honestly, if you didn't think this was going to be a cross-gen game, you really weren't using your brain, right? Like, I knew this was going to be a cross-gen game. I was just hoping that maybe they would make it exclusive, but you got to think about the fact that God of War sold 10 million copies on PlayStation 4. And it took them 11 months to do that with, well, at that time, probably 100 million PS4s out in the wild. You're not going to repeat those numbers, repeat the success of God of War 2018 with only, just shy of 8 million PS5s out in the wild. Like, it's not going to happen. I think God of War did something like 3 million in the first month. Well, when there's only 7.5 million PS5s out in the wild, statistically, you ain't gonna fucking do 3 million in the first month. That's just not gonna happen. So because the PS4 install base is so large and the PS5 install base is so small, I think it was obvious that it was going to be a cross-generational game. And yes, it does disappoint me a bit. And I'll explain to you why. Because I had some fucking asshole on Twitter who was trying to talk shit because I just said I was bummed out. That's all I said. I was like, oh, I'm bummed out that it's going to be cross-gen. And he called me like an entitled piece of shit or something. And I was like, yes, thank you. I am entitled because I gave PlayStation $500 for a next-generation console. On that next-generation console, I expect to play next-generation games. I'm entitled to next-generation games on the next-generation console that I gave PlayStation $500 for. I didn't buy a cross-generation console. I bought a next-generation console. And I'm sorry, anyone who's still on PS4, did PlayStation make you a God of War? Oh, they did? Cool. Then fuck off. This one's ours. Right? You got your God of War. God damn it. This one's ours. Right? And look, I understand that when it comes to graphics, even though it's cross-gen, God of War is probably still going to blow people's minds because it's a lot easier to scale the level of detail on things in games than it is to do other things, right? So I understand graphically it's still going to be an impressive game. But because of the limitations of the PS4 hardware, specifically that regular hard drive, that does change, level designs. What developers can do when designing the worlds, designing the levels. There's going to be more constraints on what they're able to do because of that fucking hard drive in the PS4. And I ultimately just wanted a God of War that didn't have to worry about any of the limitations of the PlayStation 4, whether it was RAM, hard drive, CPU, GPU, whatever the fuck it was that was the limitation in the PS4. I wanted a God of War that didn't have to worry about any of them, right? But unfortunately, that's not what we're getting. We're going to get a God of War that still has to deal with some of the shit that PS4 has. Like I said, graphically, it's probably still going to fucking melt brains. I mean, we saw the Horizon Forbidden West demo, and that shit is the most next-gen thing I've seen running on a next-gen console. And I'm actually super interested to see what, Horizon Forbidden West PS5 looks like versus Horizon Zero Dawn PS4. Because I imagine they're going to take that level of detail slider and just be like... and turn that shit way down in order for the PS4 to be able to do the same thing. I assume. I don't know. So seeing how good Horizon Forbidden West looked on PS5, being that it's cross-generational, and considering the fact that Horizon Zero Dawn was a great-looking game, but God of War was by far the better-looking game, knowing that and seeing how good Horizon Forbidden West looks only makes me wonder, like, Jesus, if Horizon Forbidden West looks that good, how fucking good does God of War Ragnarok look, or whatever the hell it's going to eventually be titled, right? So, seeing how good Horizon looked and the fact that it's cross-gen kind of makes me worry less about how good God of War will look. And I think for many people who are looking for a PlayStation 5 exclusive God of War, I think seeing Horizon and how good it looked as a cross-generation game, I think for many people, they're going to be like, okay, you know what, I wanted my PlayStation 5 only God of War, but if it's going to look anything like that, I'm cool with it being cross-gen. I think most people are going to feel that way. They're going to be like, listen, I didn't want it to be cross-gen, but as long as it looks fucking something like that, I'll take a cross-gen God of War. And I'm in that camp. Like I said, though, I'm still disappointed because I really wanted a God of War that didn't have any limitations put on it set by the legacy hardware. But it is what it is. And I have no doubts that the team over at Santa Monica is making something extremely fucking special, extremely incredible. It's gonna blow all our minds. At least that's what we're hoping, right? Just crossing those fingers because anything can be a bad game. Even the sequel to one of the greatest games of all time can be a bad game. So, like I said, just crossing my fingers and we'll see what happens. But before I let you go, let's just talk about something real quick because I constantly get on Phil Spencer when he's fucking up or saying shit that just does not compute. And right now I just want to get on Jim Ryan's ass because PlayStation definitely needs to work on their messaging because here's an article from IGN from May 30th, 2020 that says PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan wants developers to, quote, make the most, end quote, of PS5's hardware and isn't interested in making PS5 games run on PS4. Is that right, Mr. Ryan? Is that right, Jimbo, you motherfucker? Listen, I don't know if Jim Ryan lied to us. I don't know if Jim Ryan misled us. I don't know what it was. Was it straight up them lying? Was it them playing word games? I don't know what it was. All I know is PlayStation needs to work on its messaging because specifically when it comes to whether games are going to be cross-gen or next-gen, PlayStation has been kind of playing fast and loose with the details, especially in that PlayStation 5 event where they just let us all assume that Miles Morales and Horizon Forbidden West were PlayStation 5 exclusives. We were told later on, oh, by the way, yeah, all that shit you saw at the PlayStation 5 event, yeah, those are also coming to PlayStation 4. So Jim Ryan and PlayStation really right now need to work on their messaging because they're starting to fucking piss some people off. And there are a lot of people that were kind of like letting shit go, letting shit slide, right? But it's getting to the point now where people are like, yo, Jim said one thing, and now you're doing something else. And not just one time, Jim. This is like the 6th time, Jim, that you said you were going to do something, and you did something else, Jim. So Jim needs to get his shit together. But, anyway, like I said, that's the big news. God of War Ragnarok, now a 2022 game, and it will be on PlayStation 4 as well as PlayStation 5. And that's all I got for you guys on this one. And that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And don't be sorry, be better. Supernova out.